Hello, Capricorn. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Gendron Tarot by Melanie Gendron. Website is usgamesinc.com if you're interested. Feel free to freeze frame if you want that, of course, if I can hold my hand still. Supportive Oracle cards. Queen of the Moon Oracle by Stacy DeMarco. Website for Stacy, Rockpool Publishing. .com.au, A as an apple, U as an umbrella. Feel free to freeze frame on that if you want to get the spelling of that, of course. All right. Enjoy if you wish to enjoy. Okay. I want to say that's the Rockpool Publishing. I want to say there's a lot of decks on there. I'm not remembering for sure. But if you're a deck enthusiast, which I can I'm a deck enthusiast. There's another way to put that, like a deck junkie or something, a deck addict. Wow, what have we got going on here? What's going on? There's something else waiting for you. You got the Lovers, the Ace of Wands, and the Nine of Cups out here. You got like some choice coming forward, but we have to deal with this situation first to get to this. Okay. There's really something great out there for you. Are we sure? I'm just going to really clarify that. Which it almost seems out of order, but they're like, before we go through all this, the purpose of dealing with this is to get to that. The Lovers, the Ace of Wands, the Nine of Cups. Very curious to me, because I think of the Nine of Cups as like doing something on your terms, feeling very sufficient. Like, you don't have to become a part of the Lovers. You could stay by yourself if that works, but like doing things your way. Something like justice coming in, and then the Eight of Cups. You might have to walk away from something to get what you truly want. Okay, let's see. And I understand why they're kind of putting that out there first, because Capricorn doesn't invest time just to throw it away. But Capricorn is also extremely practical. And if you look at something now, like, I keep trying to work this, I keep trying to make this work, and it's turning out to be more of a money pit than anything else. It's kind of like, before I waste even more money on this situation, let me step back and really look at everything I've wasted so far. Do I really think if I keep going, I'm going to recoup all I've lost? Or am I literally just going to keep losing more? And when you see it in that perspective, kind of like, I don't think I'm going to recoup what I've already lost. It's not going to come back. And I don't see me doing any better going forward. That's the point where you cut the line and you're like, I'm going to have to go a different direction. I hate it. I don't like that I'm not going to recoup what I deserve. But sometimes you just got to call it and move on. I've seen Capricorns do this with jobs before. Kind of like a job doesn't respect you like it should. And you hold on for just so long, and you start looking at like how much it has not paid back as much as you've put in. And then you realize it's just not going to get better. And it's never going to respect you the way it should. And I've seen Capricorns do this, like they just make that decision like, well, the sooner I move on, I need to find something that does respect me, respects my energy, respects what I put into something, and pays me back the way I deserve to be paid back. And it seems to make it easy for Capricorn, kind of like, once you give up on a situation, like this is not going to serve me, they move on fairly easily, because Capricorn is not here to waste their time. And if a situation is not respecting you like it should, and it's not looking like it ever will, that's when Capricorn will move on. And I feel like that's one of the things we're trying to work for here, because I feel like they're saying you are blocked with whatever you're dealing with. Whatever the subject is talking about, what it has been up to this point is not good enough. In short, it's not good enough. And this could be a relationship thing. And it's kind of like, it's been good, but it's like sometimes I feel it's like one of those things where you start to really realize, I've seen this person for not only months, but maybe years, and it's always me doing the work. I always put in the effort, and they just can't seem to match it. They just never give me what I need in this relationship. I feel like I'm always doing the work, and I'm starting to feel drained from it. And Capricorn can take on a lot of responsibility, I know that, but you shouldn't feel like you're the one putting in all the work. Even if you feel like you're putting in 70% of the relationship work, that's still not what you're looking for. I feel like Capricorn thrives, especially in relationships, and this could be a work thing, where it's like, I put in 50%, I get back 50%. Like, it's a 50-50 thing. Especially if it's a love relationship. Like, neither person should be doing most of the work. it should be 50-50 if it's going to be truly successful and truly enlightening in a beautiful relationship. Which goes for planning, talking things out, bringing subjects forward, all that good stuff. And I'm getting like, it's not a question of strength, it's a question of how to use your strength. And like, is where you are working for you, and do you really see it getting better, or no matter what you do, are you still doing 70 to 80%? And that might be a thing too. Like maybe you're doing 70% of the work now, sometimes you do 80% and you just keep going because you don't want to give up, and then you work on it and you try to make it better and you get to 80%, you're doing 70% now. But it never, like, it's like instead of them doing 20%, now they're doing 30%, but that's as good as they can do. And the strength is for you to make up your mind. And you decide, like, the strength is there. That's not even a question, in my opinion. Capricorn has strength. It's all about where you're going to start moving that strength. And once you make peace with it and you make a decision, you will follow through on your own decision. Your what do you call that when you make a decision and you stand by it? Because your resolve. Once you make a personal decision, once you resolve, like, I've made peace with it, that's what you're going to do, you will follow it through. Once you start going somewhere, once you've decided that's where you're going, you will get there on your terms and in your time, but you will get there. There's a lot of internal conflict with this one is what I'm getting. A lot of internal conflict. And I'm trying to understand where we're starting with this part, because I don't think you're talking to other people about what's bothering you as much. It's kind of like the proof is in the pudding, if you will. Like, it's obvious, like to you it's obvious anyway. You're doing things, you're acting ways, you're doing certain things because of how the situation is going. I don't see you're not bringing it forward, but it's almost like at this point, if I have to keep saying something, if I keep having to talk about it, that's like, why is it always on me to fix it? Why is it always on me to bring it forward? Where's the 50-50 here? This could literally be a job thing too, kind of where it's kind of like a job is not respecting you if you're constantly going above and beyond and they're just not acknowledging it. You have to tell them, hey, I did great. Hey, I did good in this. Like half the time it makes sense. Like they're not always going to pick up on it. But at some point they should be doing their effort, realizing you're doing good too. You're very, very good at what you do. So you want to move ahead. They should be trying to help you just as much as you're trying to help them. That is fair. Does that usually work out that way? I don't know about that. But that should be how a business relationship is honored. You put in that effort, they put in equal effort. If they don't do that, maybe it's time to find something that will. Yeah. You have other ideas anyway. What does that mean? This is one of those times also. I'm going to go down, okay, I'm going to go down both. You know what you really want in life. You know what you're really looking for. It's time to go towards that and do it on your terms. I'm going back and forth between relationship and job. I know this is going to be confusing if I don't like hone in on one at a time. If you're in a relationship with a person, so we're going to do the relationship first. Let's do that. And you love them, but they just don't have the personality that really matches what you need. Maybe you like that they're funny. Maybe you like that they're a little bit spontaneous, but you don't like that, you're the one who always has to make sure that things get taken care of. You're the one who has to make sure that the money is always taken care of and there's enough for the bills. You're the one who has to look after the structure of the situation and make sure that everything's taken care of. You're the one who has to start these conversations and talk about things that aren't working right. You have to start the hard conversations, stuff like that. Just because there's some here that you like, but there's more that's not. You can have what you want. If it's a relationship especially, I would realistically, and I feel like Capricorn is great at being realistic, write down the qualities you want in a person. I want somebody who's funny, but also supportive, somebody who brings forward problems that doesn't wait for me to bring forth problems, somebody I can depend on to be there for me, and actually somebody that, will be preemptive and actually handle a problem before I have to say something. And in fact, maybe bring something to my attention first and be like, hey, I don't think this is going right. And I go, you know what, hey, I think you're right. Let's talk about that, or let's figure that out. Let's research it a bit and find out what's really going on. If it's a relationship, by the way, Capricorn is the one, I feel like you're the one who deals with all of the earth signs successfully. I think you're good with Taurus. You're definitely good with Virgo. I've seen that play out. Yeah, Taurus, you're good. Virgo, you're good. And I believe another Capricorn, if you're going the same direction, if you have the same life goals, I think that one can be very good too. Two Capricorns can make it work very easily if you're going the same direction. If you have the same life goals and you both have the same type of standards, same type of background, if that makes sense. Like two Capricorns that both want to live near a lake, for example, compatible. One Capricorn wants to live up in the mountains, the other one wants to live down near the shore. That's an example of two Capricorns that might not work together so well. So it's kind of depending on who you're dealing with. But if you're on the same page, you can be extremely successful. Water signs, I would say Cancer, don't do that. You guys could get along well at first, but it becomes a one-up war, slowly starts and then gets worse over time. I've seen it. I'm just saying, they usually get along at good at first, but after time, they can become very destructive for each other, just to be fair. But you also would do good with somebody who's a Pisces or somebody who's a Scorpio. Pisces especially, because they can be very dreamy and very funny sometimes, but they're very good at being supportive. You're just going to be a leader in that situation usually. Scorpio likes to be the leader, but they're also very funny, but they're very dependable. You just got to step back and let them do it on their own terms. Just in case that matters for somebody out there. Not that you need to look for those signs, but maybe those qualities. I don't know why we went down that road, but there we go. Are we good? Oh, okay. I was gonna put those down, but like you gotta do the work side too. Okay, the work side. If the work isn't working for you, kind of like this job has not respected me the way they should up to this point, and I don't see that changing, doesn't mean we have to walk away from that job and just find another one. Another option here is maybe you want to start your own business. And maybe you can develop a plan where maybe it starts out as a part-time business. For example, we use baking because I use a lot of baking analogies. Maybe you're really talented at that. So you're like, maybe you'll start doing weekend baking. You'll start off slow, you'll do a couple things. Maybe there's a couple people that are having parties and you're like, for a fee, I'll bake some stuff for you if you want, and we'll go from there. Maybe you then get connected with maybe a wedding planner or maybe some other situation that caters, and maybe you know that their baking isn't the greatest and they're trying to improve it, and you're like, hey, if you want to work with me, I can bake some of that stuff for you and I'll sell it to you for a price, and you can have this for your banquets and that stuff. I feel like you can slowly make it work. And then when the weekend thing gets lucrative enough to where you're like, all right, I feel comfortable, I've saved up enough money, and this is going well. I see a lot of business that I've had to push to the side that I couldn't take because I have this other job. Then you'll be like, all right, let me see, what options do I have in my job? Do I have to just walk away from it and just like resign? Or can I go down to like part-time in that job so that I can comfortably go into the next stage? Like, how do I want to do this next stage? You can also start going to college if you decide that's what's for you. Do it on your terms. Doesn't mean you have to walk away from this job right away, but it's like start working on what you actually want, move yourself towards what you actually want, make that happen. You'll just start realigning your goals. Like, I'm not going to stay at this job forever, so it'll also bring down the stress at the job too. Like, if people don't like me at this job, well, that's okay. I'm not going to stay here forever anyway. I see a lot coming in for you, but that's where that, like, I feel like that's where the Lovers or the Nine of Cups is also showing up. Like, you don't have to go into the situation the way everybody else is going into it. You can do things on your own, or you can do things cooperative with other people. You have these options, but the thing is, design it the way you want it to come forward, because you have the energy coming in. Ace of Wands is here for you. Like, once you start moving forward, again, you will have that conviction. That's the one I was looking for before, to move forward. Now, people you leave behind are going to be bent out of shape, and they're going to play the poor me card. I see something about that, so if it's a relationship thing especially, mostly because you do most of the work, or if it's a job thing, too little too late. But I feel like as a reactive, if it's a job thing, it's more reactive, which is not good. So it's almost like it reminds me of like, oh, you're going to leave the job? Well, how about we give you a raise? Is that enough money? I'm not going to give you a lot, but I'll give you a little. Do you feel better? Oh, cool. I can ignore you again. It's reactive. Because I feel like when you start moving on and you start moving in your own direction, especially if it's a job thing, and for example, say you're baking on the weekends and they find out why you're baking on the weekends because you want to make more money, they're going to start getting nervous because if Capricorn goes towards something, they're usually pretty good at it. And if they're not good at it to start, they work at it until they are good at it. So once they see the writing is on the wall, that's when they see the writing is on the wall, that's when you're going to see this, oh no, Capricorn, don't leave us out in the cold. Oh no, Capricorn, this is stressful for us because we like using you for our benefit. And if you're going to work for you instead of us, that's just cheating us out of screwing you over. And we want to screw you over, so let us screw you over. Wow, that's kind of bitter, isn't it? But that's kind of how it is. That's how I see it sometimes. I don't know where that came from, but it just kind of, whew. All right, I said it. I have a feeling for those of you this is clicking for, I don't think that's off the mark, but you'll let me know in the comments. I know you will. Kind of like, oh, yeah, I'm not going to let you use me anymore. Oh, you're upset about that, aren't you? Yeah, I'm not. Don't worry, I'm not. You got justice coming forward, and you got things. It feels like it might take you a long time to put things where you want them to be. This is not a bad thing for Capricorn usually. Because slow and steady wins the race. You want to build something slowly. You want to build something dependably. When you go in another direction, you want it to stay. So usually Capricorn will go slowly. You're an earth sign. Earth likes to move slowly because it makes sense to them and it's dependable. You're going to move forward slowly, but that's because it's on your terms. That's what you want. If you want it to go faster, you can make it go faster. But usually Capricorn won't do that. They're like, no, I need to know that this is going to not only work, but it's going to last, and I want to build it sufficiently. It's kind of like when I feel like the baking analogy for Capricorn. Say you're good at making croissants and cookies, and you're like, I make croissants really well. I make chocolate chip cookies and sugar cookies like nobody can beat mine. You'll start with that, and the people are like, oh, can you make me a strawberry cake? And you'd be like, not at this time. And the reason you would say that, in my opinion, is like, I don't really know what I'm doing with that just yet. I really haven't made one in a long time. And I don't think it's the quality of everything else that I'm already producing. I don't want people to try this strawberry cake and be kind of like so-so. And then the reputation of my business is, oh, well, it's so-so. So you would say, I can't do that right now. So you're like, I'm not just going to run ahead and just start making strawberry cakes because somebody asked for it. But what I might do is I'll say no to this now, but now I'll start researching that. What does it take to make a strawberry cake? What type of strawberry cake do I want to make? How would I decorate it? All that stuff. How much of this, how much of that? Instead of making a strawberry cake, would I actually use a couple of other berries? Maybe I can make something a little different, a little better, a little bit more unique to my situation. You wouldn't just run forward and be like, I'll put something in there that's just so-so, just so I can make the money, because it wouldn't be dependable money, and you would be afraid that it would damage your business going forward. Like, I don't want my business to have this reputation that I do so-so baking. I need it to be the level of the croissants and the chocolate chip cookies and the sugar cookies. It has to be that level before I'm going to put it out there. I'm not going to just make it until we're up at the right level. So it'll go at your speed. So if you want to go faster, you can. But I feel that dependability, the quality. I want to say quality. I was going to say dependability, which is true for Capricorn, but the quality. I have a feeling quality because I feel like Capricorn is known for quality. I've known a couple and just like quality. I really have. Quality is usually quite high for Capricorn. High quality standards. The ones that I've known anyway, they get things done. They get things done well, and they do it the way they want to on their terms. Other people, if they don't like it, well, cookies crumble, and that's how it is. Maybe it's a gift that they didn't treat you that well, because you're going to go into a better direction and be much more lucrative than you would have if these people treated you the right way. So you'll find what you really want. Anything else with this? That went on for a while. I think we're good. All right, I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below with the same email. Thank you again for watching, and have a great day.